Brandon Boston just got called out once again for his weak performance this entire season, and Zion Harmon just called out a ton of high school hoopers, so we're going to break it down and get right into it. Now, first and foremost, Brandon Boston, being a player at Kentucky, being a McDonald's All-American coming out of high school, probably one of the best players we've seen come out of high school, very highly recruited and ranked, has not really lived up to the standards at Kentucky. And some numbers were going around about how much he averaged and what his points per game were looking like at Kentucky, and man, a lot of people are saying he is not ready to move on to the next level. Now let's take a look at it. Now, first and foremost, Brandon Boston is actually averaging about 11.5 points per game, 4.5 rebounds per game, and 1.6 assists per game, and he's shooting about 35% from the field goal and 30 from the three-point line. Now, a lot of you guys are pointing to the fact that these are not great numbers, and the fact that if he tried to go to the NBA currently right now with those type of numbers, he wouldn't be that good. When you're not averaging and really not killing in college basketball, of course the competition is only going to be that much better in the NBA, and when you try to cross over and go to the NBA, man, things are not going to go well at all. A lot of people are actually stating in the comments down below that Brandon Boston really just needed to swallow his ego and not go to the NBA because this would hurt him in the long run. Think about it, and I agree with this statement because if you really look at his numbers, man, if you're not killing every game in college basketball, dominating the competition, what do you think is going to happen once you get to the NBA? Really, things are going to be only that much harder for you to really excel and put in work. And if you're not doing that well in college, man, that is not going to be a good move to try to go to the NBA. Now, a lot of players in his position, of course, would just try to go to the NBA because, one, they have some buzz right now and already has talent, and he can get drafted. Odds are he definitely will get drafted, but will it be that high of a spot? Probably not, just because his overall performance this season really has not been the best. Now, in my opinion, I think he needs to stay at least one more year, just develop, work on his game, and then go to the NBA. He clearly has a lot of talent and a lot of skill, but it just needs to be polished a little bit more for him really to get to the NBA. Now, as I said in a previous video, even another coach was pretty much calling him out, saying he wasn't NBA ready and that he was too soft. And this was an anonymous coach, but a lot of you guys were commenting down below that it was Coach Cal, but I never said that. Now he really does need to stay and work on his game, but he's a great player. He can shoot the ball, he can dribble, but man, it's crazy how such top, highly recruited players can go from being one of the best in the country and really being a top athlete to coming to college and really struggling. A lot of people thought that he was just going to come into college and really dominate because of what he did in high school, but clearly that is not the case. In addition, people are also saying Terrence Clark, another big time hooper, big recruit coming out of high school, McDonald's All-American as well, and he was injured for part of the season, but he was averaging about 10 points per game, 3 rebounds per game, and 2 assists per game. And a lot of people are both agreeing that these guys are really not NBA ready and that they should stay. Now, I agree with that. Man, these guys are great players, but just have some more to develop on their game. They need some more time, but only time will tell, because for sure, these guys are going to be some special talents in the future when they can get their game polished. Now, a lot of people are even calling them overrated, and that's tough because once you are a top prospect in high school, go to college, don't play as well, that is going to happen. Of course, people are going to hate on you, call you overrated, and really just tear apart your entire game like that other coach did. But personally, I really don't think they're overrated. We just have to see how they develop, give them a little bit more time. They might not be a player, they might not be players that are able just to turn it on and go right from college to the NBA in 1 year, but some players do take a little bit longer, and you never know. At the end of the day, I think they have a ton of talent and for sure will be successful in the future once they do hit that NBA spot. Now, on the other hand, Zion Harmon just called out a ton of high school hoopers in this quote, and he actually said, "I feel like I'm the best guard in high school." Now, man, Zion Harmon has been in high school for a minute. It feels like he's been playing basketball for a very long time, and a lot of people thought he was older than his actual age he was supposed to be for his class. Now, of course, he is a senior as of right now, but the reality of the truth is that he's been playing EYBL since about 7th grade. He was the youngest player to hop on the EYBL circuit, which is Nike's AAU circuit, and this dude was putting up numbers for his age. He was only very young at the time and was really killing the top competition in EYBL, so people knew this guy was going to be a special talent moving forward. Now, people were even violating him, comparing him to Kyrie Walker, saying that he saying that he had been in high school for a very long time as well. Now, I gotta be honest here, it does seem like that just because he's been hooping for such a long time, but Zion Harmon is an excellent player. I think this guy is a really tough guard, and although he's not the tallest, man, he makes use of his height and is really a tough, solid guard. A lot of things have happened to him in high school basketball, which is kind of sad because there were points in time where he wasn't allowed to even get on the court and play, and there were a lot of different things going on with his high school, but his senior year is currently right now, and he's actually going to be attending Western Kentucky. But really, Zion Harmon had offers from all the top schools. Think about it, if you're playing EYBL and around the 7th grade, people are going to be interested. Now, he had offers from Kansas, Kentucky, Louisville, LSU, Seton Hall, really all the top programs, and it's crazy because ESPN only has him listed here at 5'10". How many players do you know at 5'10" that are really able to get offers from these really big schools? It's really impressive to see him do that, and he was actually ranked 49th in the country in his class, which is pretty good as well. I think a lot of people overshadow Zion Harmon just because he's been in the basketball world for such a long time and really don't give him the credit that he deserves. Now, Zion was actually averaging about 25 points per game, which was really impressive too and was showing what he was made of, but there are a few issues here I see with his game moving to the next level. Now, one, his height is something that is going to be tough if he really wants to be effective in the college level and even have a shot at moving to the NBA. Of course, when you guys know, anytime you're under 6 feet tall, it is going to be very hard moving to the next level and really playing well. I think he's going to be a pretty good player in college basketball, but as far as hitting the NBA, it is going to be very tough. Most NBA players, man, point guards at this point are pretty much 6'3" and above, and if you're not taller than that, man, the odds are really stacked against you. I think he is an excellent player right now and can do well in college, but NBA would be very tough for him to get there. Zion has had a number of really excellent and really exciting plays that we've seen. Even when he was at a Pangos camp, he actually decided to throw the ball off the defender's head, got it back to a low spin and knocked the shot down. And I think that just shows how smooth of a player he is and how confident. When you're that confident, man, you can really play anywhere and do excellent on the court, get your teammates involved and dribble the ball well. He clearly has a lot of handles and has done a lot in his basketball career that really show why he's such an excellent player on the court. Now, personally, I think the real reason Zion Harmon didn't go to a bigger school is because I believe he would have been overshadowed. If Zion Harmon went to a school like Kentucky or even Duke or any of these really bigger schools, I think it would have been tough for him to really shine and play his game on the court. When you're going to have a lot bigger, taller, tougher guards than him, it would be tough for him to get some playing time. In addition to this, I really just don't think he would be the best fit for one of these bigger schools, and I don't think coaches would really favor him on the court when he's playing at one of these bigger schools. If guys have attributes that are a little bit better than his, man, it's going to be tough to get out of a school like that. Once you go to a school like Kentucky or any really big program, they're revolving doors, and it's going to be hard for you to really get playing time if you're not playing your best over at one of those schools. But who knows, he could do well at the end of the day. He is an excellent player, has a ton of talent. But I want you guys to let me know in the comments down below. First and foremost, do Brandon Boston and Terrence Clark need to wait? Do they need to stay in Kentucky for another year, or how many years do they need to stay? Let me know in the comments down below, as well as Zion Harmon. What do you think about him calling out a number of these high school recruits? Do you think he is really that good of a player, or he is just being arrogant? Let me know in the comments down below. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, turn on post notifications to get a notification every time I upload a new video. So I'll out.